My name is Josh Thompson. Our audience today is you, California college students, and we're here to talk today about immigration reform. So this is obviously we all know that this is a nation of immigrants. I'm sure that all of your ancestors immigrated here, mine did. They arrived at Ellis Island from Germany, trying to escape persecution following World War II. They looked out off the coast of Ellis Island out at the Statue of Liberty, which reads, "Give us, you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse from your teeming shores. Send them here, to me, I'd like my lamp beside the golden door." Now just to be clear, that's not our immigration policy. Just throwing that out there, that is not at all it. It's more like, no, confusion, and screw that, we're not doing that at all. Unfortunately, we have an extremely expensive immigration policy. In fact, according to the Migration Policy Institute, we spend almost $15 billion annually enforcing our borders and for the Department of Homeland Security. Now, for a nation that's broke, that's a lot of money to keep people out. Doesn't really make a lot of sense considering that we have a failing infrastructure. We have schools that are remarkably underfunded. And according to the Cato Journal, which is a nonprofit which monitors migratory policy, we spend an awful lot of money keeping people out of here. Now, critics of immigration will state that immigration is bad for our country and it's bad for our economy. They'll say that immigrants take our jobs. They'll say that immigrants lower our wages. And they'll say they increase our crime rates. Now, unfortunately, none of that is true. Unfortunately for the critics, good for us. The majority of the immigrants that come to this country have a low education level, which as a portion of our naturalized citizenship has been declining since the 1950s. In addition, in terms of taking or lowering our national wages, when we have an increase in low-skilled labor, highly skilled labor, such as people with college degrees, become relatively scarce. So their wages are going to increase. So that argument doesn't make any sense. And despite what Fox News may say, not every immigrant here has been arrested for a violent crime, and they don't all need to go. In regards to Fox News, even Ronald Reagan supported immigration reform. In fact, in 1986, he passed an international amnesty program that allowed for every immigrant that had been here in this country before 1983 to have amnesty and to continue to live here. Now, the Cato Institute is proposing that if we were to adopt a similar policy, that we would save or generate an additional $1.5 trillion in national GDP over the course of 10 years. So as our speech moves forward, we're going to take a look at the breakdown of our immigration policy. We're going to take a look at visas, work visas, travel visas, eventually a green card, and then naturalization. As we break that down, take a listen to just how strewn about all of this is. We have several different government agencies that are responsible for all of this. Essentially, it's a policy of confusion and isolation and high monetary costs. So, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, class. This is a pile of many types of visas, forms needed to get into the United States. You're welcome to look at them. America was built on immigrations, on immigrants. We came from all over the world here and built our life. And yet, we're closing the door to others that want to come in. TravelState.gov says there are 20 immigrant visas just for visitors. So if you want to visit, which one of the 20 do you choose? And as far as moving here, you do need to think about it, because there was so many with moving and working here, I didn't even bother counting them. There's tons, literally. We have 222 embassies and consulates that give out visas to come into the United States, but it takes 82 days just to get an interview. And you pay for your visa and you wait. It can take a year, 5, 6, 7 years before you actually get it. And you think you could just catch a plane, come home and get into your family's car? No way. You go to the point of entry where you again are questioned, and then Homeland Security decides, yes, you can come, no, you can't. If they decide you cannot come into the United States, all the time you spent waiting to get your interview, all the time, money and time you spent paying for a visa, it's gone. We keep the money as a processing fee. You don't get it back. And we all know time doesn't come back to us. Once it's gone, it's down the drain. If you get an okay to have a visa, that sounds great, doesn't it? But I suggest you keep your passport with your visa, because there's a darn good chance one will expire before the other one does. And if you've got a new visa and an old but good passport, sorry, if you take that visa and you put it on your passport, it becomes invalid. And you have to go through the process again. And as people may say, well, so what? We lose money on them. I don't think so. According to travelstate.gov, visitors to the United States bring in $134 billion every year into our economy. More money could be generalized. We could have more of the money that they bring into our country if we made entry requirements more understandable. If we could guarantee, if you qualify to enter the States, that you actually get to enter. But most of all, we need to narrow the amount of visas down to a workable amount. Why would anybody think to have 20 different visas, types of visas, to enter the United States? Our land was built on immigration. Our Lady holds up the torch for freedom and welcome. We should keep that image alive and free. And now, Vernae.